warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, foundation students. I hope you're enjoying the break of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam birthday. As I in the class, you will find slides and a short video. So this is a short video. On the slides, you will find a vocabulary review game, and then one slide asking you to read page 11, unit 1. And maybe you would like to underline any difficult word extra to the vocabulary, and you can add to your vocabulary sheet. Then you will find a quiz on SVA. Do you remember SVA? We mentioned that in the class, subject verb agreement. And in this short video, I will explain the simple and compound sentences. And I will leave you with practice makes perfect, where you will practice through 2 exercises, simple and compound sentences and fanboys. The last thing is you have attendance sentence number 2 open for you. Please make sure that you check the date, the due date and the time. All right, let's start. So what are simple sentences? What are compound sentences? If you read these two sentences, they're different. Can you identify which one is simple, which one is compound? I enjoy playing football with my friends. I like to swim, and my brother prefers to read. Another example, she walked to the park and she played on the swings. This is sentence 1. She walked to the park. Which one is simple? Which one is compound? And let's see how many sentences do we have in English. We have simple sentences, we have compound sentences, we have complex sentences, and we have compound complex sentences. But don't worry, we will only focus this term on simple and compound sentences because you need them to write your paragraph at the end of this term. So what is the difference between a simple and a compound sentence? All sentences in English are made up of clauses. What do you mean by this? A clause is usually a group of words that has meaning. There are 2 types of clauses in English. The first one is the independent clause. What is an independent clause? An independent clause is a group of words that have subject and a verb, and we put in between brackets SV. And they can also have an object, which we will write it as O. An independent clause expresses a complete thought, and it can stand alone as a sentence by itself. Remember in the class when I was just acting for you that I'm leaning on the desk and I can stand alone when we mentioned simple and compound sentences? And these are examples. The sun rose, that's SV. My neighbor died suddenly, which is SV plus an adverb, suddenly, immediately, happily, sadly. These are adverbs. Fatima is a student. This is subject, verb, and object. Amina and Hakim study English. Amina and Hakim, this is the subject. Study is a verb, and English is the object here. Don't forget that an independent clause must start with the subject, the sun, my neighbor, Fatima, Amina, and Hakim. The second type of clauses is dependent clause. This one, it does not begin with the subject. It usually starts with adverbs or any other connectors, like the ones here, after, when, before, because, that, until, and many more. You have to check if it expresses a complete thought or it's incomplete. Like these examples. When the sun rose, I should not read it like that. When the sun rose, full stop. So what's this? There is no thought. It's incomplete. Second one, because Mr. Kamal was tired. full stop. There is no comma, so nothing is coming, but it's incomplete. So this is called dependent clause. It's not a complete sentence. All right, so dependent clause and independent clause. One thought stands alone, starts with a subject, and it has an object. But on the other side, dependent, it doesn't have a thought, complete thought. It doesn't start with a subject, and it does not express, it's not complete by itself. It needs something to be done, something to complete the sentence. Okay, so I would like you to check these 6 sentences and test yourself. Pause the video, stop me here talking, click on stop, and write IND for independent and DEP for dependent. Okay? So which one is which? Which one is independent clause? Which one is dependent clause? I'm going to wait for a second. You stop me here. Okay, now you're back. And these are the answers for you. Well done if you got them all wrong, or even if you got 2 correct, that's also fine. Remember, we said we make mistakes because we're learning. Let's move to simple and compound sentences. So a simple sentence has one complete thought, while compound sentences has many thoughts, maybe 2, maybe more. A simple sentence is one independent clause. There is one subject and one verb. It expresses a complete thought, and it has a subject and a verb. And it can stand alone as a complete sentence. One example here, fresh water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So you can have fresh water is a subject, boils is a verb, and 100 degrees Celsius is the object, so SVO. So what about compound sentences? A compound sentence has 2 thoughts or sometimes more. It is made up of 2 independent clauses. Remember the mistake we went over in class when I said, okay, you don't need a comma here, you need semicolon. The 2 independent clauses are joined together by using 7 coordinators. And what's the meaning of coordinators? It means connectors or conjunctions with a comma. For example, these 7 are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And we call these fanboys. Fanboys. F for, A for and, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. So you can remember these by fanboys. You can Google, you can read about them, you will have so many explanations about them. The compound sentence requires, these fanboys requires, they require a comma before putting them. We will have some examples. Why do we need to understand fanboys? Because when you understand the differences between how to use each of those fanboys, it will help you write more engaging sentences, more nice sentences, not only simple sentences. We don't write paragraphs using only simple sentences. We need compound, we need complex sentences, but you're just learning about compound sentences. Examples of compound sentences, the same sentence, but here it adds and freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. So this is not simple, this is compound sentence. 2 thoughts. There are 33 natural islands in Bahrain, but there are a few man-made islands like Amwaj, like Durrat al-Bahrain in southern Bahrain. This is man-made island. Whoops. Section 1 is made up of 28 students, comma, and Section 2 is made up of 27 students. This PowerPoint is on Blackboard, comma, so students can use it to study. These are examples of compound sentences. Two thoughts, joined by fanboys. Before we put the fanboy, any of them, we put a comma. I put this for you to explain more about it's just these are examples to understand, especially nor and yet. If you need any help in this, we can go over them again in class. Just remind me. That's it from me. I hope it's not a long video. I wanted it to be not more than 8 minutes. So this is now over to you. 1 and 2, this is a quiz about and, but, so, and, or. And this one is also about fanboys. And these are flashcards. You need to click, so you will find the answer on the back of the flashcard. And this is also a quiz from Khan Academy about simple and compound sentences. You can do these quizzes, take them, and you will have the answers immediately. The last point is please go to week 2 practice makes perfect and write your attendance number 2 using chat. It's a compound sentence using the word chat, any of the fanboys, but I would like you also to check the due date for your section. And by the way, you will have 3 attempts, not only 1, just to avoid the mistakes that happened earlier. So the first one, if you're satisfied, fine, submit. You can come back and change whatever you want. Don't forget about punctuation, capitalization, and the spelling. And enjoy your day. That's it. No takeaways today.